We are happy to announce that this episode of the SW Show is partially brought to you by Humble Bundle. Well, not really. We are part of the Humble Bundle referral program, and we just wanted to say that if you like really cheap games and maybe helping charity pending the Humble thing going on, all you have to do is go to humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. That's right, humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. And you just do your normal stuff, and it just kind of helps us get a couple bucks here and there. Maybe it helps AJ get his lights, maybe it's Mike camera, maybe we actually pay Corey for helping us out. But again, if you're going to go buy games anyway, it might be worth checking out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to an episode of Movie Club, where we're going to be talking about the Iron Claw, A24's movie about the Von Erich family. One of the more famous families in wrestling.
So hear me out. This is one of the families where you still need to know wrestling, but it's probably most famous of those families.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a family where, like, if you don't know wrestling, you're not going to know them.
Yeah, I mean, with, all of them dying except for Kevin pre-95, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when Carrie died. I think it was late 80s, early 90s. So like, they were all before my time.
Mm-hmm. That's more you just hear of them more than anything else.
But, I mean, what is there to say about this movie? They did a fantastic job with it, first off.
So I agree with that. There are definitely moments, though. It's a little of a painful film.
Yeah.
Like, some of the Ric Flair stuff, like, there's, like, I feel like some of the, like, other wrestler moments kind of hurt.
I mean, for the part that the Von Erichs do, like, Chavo Guerrero trained him.
Right.
For this movie, and these guys did an excellent job. Their ring partners weren't always the best.
Yeah, that I think that's where the problem lies.
Which I'm curious if they just got like indie guys from the Atlanta area, wherever they filmed, to do it. Because, like, I didn't recognize any of the actors playing, Ric Flair or Bruiser Brody or that. So I do wonder if they just, like, oh, such and such indie promotion is in town or is based here. Let's do that to keep costs down.
I would assume, because, like, obviously, historically, Atlanta has a lot kind of there.
Yeah, I don't know where they filmed this, if they filmed it in Texas or LA or Atlanta, but really wherever they filmed it has a fairly vibrant indie scene.
Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, most major cities in the U.S. probably have a decently vibrant enough for what you need for this.
Yeah, for a movie like this, where you basically just need someone that can take a bump.
Mm-hmm. You need someone who's want to be paid $1,000 to take a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was odd, like, the guy that they got to play Ric Flair, the only way that you knew it was Ric Flair is he had the platinum blonde hair.
I feel like the rest of us could have done a better Ric Flair impression.
Like, he was a little too tall and a little too skinny to be a Ric Flair. And the Bruiser Brody was pretty good. And yeah, the Ric Flair was not... The portrayal of Ric Flair was very good. him saying, where can we get fucked up tonight? It's like, yeah, no,
That felt real.
that's Ric Flair
That one felt very real.
as he's covered in blood. Yeah, I think my problem with the wrestling aspect of it was so short. Like, I wish they would have, and obviously because Kevin is the main, he wasn't the talent level of Carrie,
Right.
right? So he didn't put on banger matches. But yeah, it was just like, bell rings, they lock up, they cut.
It was very
They-
much like the cartoon version of what is.
Yeah,
wrestling
they
at
cut
points.
to mid match, then they cut to end match, and you're like, all right, this match took 30 seconds.
I feel like that stuff though, like I don't think they wanted to spend the money to film that, and also like it'd be really hard to explain to a general audience, kind of, like why like I get why we should focus on it, and you get why, but like explain that to people feels like something that'd be really hard to do. Of
I
why
mean,
we
the
should
thing of
watch
it is, like,
a 10-minute match.
I'd have to look back at his history, but I feel like Kevin Von Erich had some good matches. And so maybe not doing like his biggest match 1-to-1, but definitely having a match that builds. Like, everybody loves to shit on wrestling, right? That people that don't watch wrestling. But as soon as they start watching it, they get it. Right? Maybe not right away.
But a lot of people can really see the why
Yeah.
people like it or the why
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
They get the story. They get this, they get that. Like, they understand it. An audience is smart enough to understand, like, if you built some emotional drama around the match for Kevin, and then just did like a 10-minute match, 15-minute match in the middle of this movie, I think it would have played a lot differently than I think how that movie went. Like, it would have slowed the pacing down. It felt like it was just boom, 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 boom.
There was no.
Which is
moment
funny
at all.
because I saw Ferrari and that film is so slow. So to go from Iron Claw, which is like foot on the gas for 2 hours, and then Ferrari is like, you don't even get out of first. I do wish they would have slowed Iron Claw down a little bit.
It does.
And I think having a 10-minute match in there would have.
But what else? See, to me, I feel like if you're gonna do a match that long, you need to do like a Creed type thing of like, do something with that match too. Of like, it can't just be straight the match. I think.
I mean, what they could have done is they could have done Carrie's IC match for the title. Like, now, granted, they may not have been able to get a lot of that stuff licensed from WWE, and that makes me wonder if maybe that was why we didn't get a lot of that stuff. Was they had to rely on stuff that they could clear through NWA.
Yeah, this stuff from a licensing point of view, this stuff is super weird.
Yeah.
Because who owns? Because they're in WWE from a. What is that? Do they need multiple rights for this? Like this film?
Well, so this film was NWA. You needed that. Which is Billy Corgan, I believe,
Yeah, yeah.
if I remember
yeah.
right.
I think
And
you're right.
then you would have needed, if you wanted to show Carrie's IC match, you would have needed WWE Endeavor.
But obviously, like MJF is like a producer on this stuff. I forget. Did he do that through AEW or is that entirely separate?
It's separate.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think.
I didn't think there was anything, but I didn't know just because obviously they have a lot of weird clauses in their contracts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if AEW helped produce this movie, we would have seen some AEW talent in it,
Mm-hmm.
which would have maybe, at least for wrestling fans, would have definitely weakened kind of the hit. Because, like, the movie is super emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it leaves the worst tragedy out. You know, it leaves Chris Von Erich out. Which was smart because, God, trying to tell that story would be devastating.
Also, it's wild to me that in this we've basically had this like what is it like the third wrestling movie kind of that matters because it's the wrestler and it's Friday with My Family. Right? The only wrestling movies that really kind of mass note.
Yeah. I mean, Fighting with My Family is may as well have been a network special.
Sure, but you know, just from who did it point of view, like that is from a budget.
Yeah,
It's for sure
I
a
mean,
normal film.
really, like, Wrestler and Iron Claw are in their own
Mm-hmm.
category. Um, and I mean, The Wrestler is still. Wrestler is one of my favorite movies of all time. I try to go back and watch that once a year.
It is so good.
I
You need to be
don't
the right mood
always
for
get
it.
through it
You need to be the right.
because you know that ending and you're like, oh fuck, I don't think I can do this right now.
Usually the ending, I just say half that film.
Yeah, I mean, I can make it through most of it, and then I get to the ending and his daughter's there, and it's like, you know the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say the outcome, but you know the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
God.
Whereas
This-
with Iron Claw, I mean, Iron Claw I could watch again right now. Like, I wouldn't have any problem.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
it's
from an
also not-
emotional standpoint,
it's yeah, 'cause it's not the same punch.
watching Iron Claw. Because it's so fast that it's just like. It's one tragedy to another, so you don't really have time to mourn David or mourn Michael. Really, the only one that they give you an opportunity is Carrie, because
They
it's the
have
last
to.
one.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I do applaud the group for making this movie, the crew that made it, because it is a story that needs to be told. Right? Like, the Von Erich story needs to get out there because it's one that when people hear it, they go, oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting people to listen to that story. Right? I feel like if you took the Von Erich story and took the wrestling aspect out of it
Mm-hmm.
and made it like, oh, it's the family business, right? Just stripped all wrestling references out of it, it would be a pretty popular story. But it's the fact that it's wrestlers from pre-heyday.
Yeah, and it's not even like you can't even say like WE or these things that like you kind of latch onto people.
I mean, I will say, right, like, I was born in 95, and I remember the name Kerry Von Erich. He was dead before I was born, but I remember the name. Like, people would bring it up. So, obviously there was stuff for me to learn. I had seen the, Dark Side of the Ring, so I knew, that version of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious to see how they would make it as a film. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those movies where it's just like I I don't know. To me, it's I want everyone to see this, but I know not everyone will go see it. Sort of things.
Yeah, I am very torn on who I recommend this for.
Like it's a movie where I'm like, I want everyone to see this, but I know there's caveats of like, there's people I need to be like, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. Trust me. And I feel like most people would give it a chance if I told them that.
I feel like you just need to say it with Zac Efron to at least convince some people.
Yeah. I mean, he was okay in it.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of like ways to get people to actually watch it. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like a problem people are gonna have.
I will say, all props to Zach for getting in that shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he was in better shape than Baywatch. Like, dude, training for wrestling just does something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, training for show muscles, like he did for Baywatch, is whatever. Like, he looks great. But when you're training to be a wrestler and have to put on that mask
Yeah.
and then you still look that good, it's like, damn, dude, in another life, Zac Efron would be like, he'd be the Miz.
Oh, totally. That is 100%. That'd be the one to
He'd
one.
be a Miz like Theory level, like maybe not the shit heel that those guys are, but you know, he's definitely got that ability. And part of me really wants to see him be like, all right, Chavo, you trained me this much. Get me in ring shape and teach me a match, and then have him go to like Mexico and just lucha.
That would be, and like it's like, and that's how we feel like when someone like pulls the mask off or something.
I don't even think you need that. Just like, if he really liked it, just have him do it. Like, you know, he's set for life. You know, he doesn't have to worry about money. Just go do lucha. Work with WWE. Do something. Like, this dude's clearly fit to be a wrestler. And, I mean, even Jeremy Allen White, like, he looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, that's another one that I would 100% say stood out to me.
I will say, them getting around only having to shoot Carrie's missing foot for 30 seconds was pretty funny. Because, like, with Kevin, you can't do that because Kevin never wore shoes. So, you know, the fact that Carrie wore boots and you could just lace them up and he didn't have to do, like, prosthetics or, you know, anything like that was pretty funny. But yeah, he was one. Jeremy Allen White looked pretty good. I think there's something about this, like, generation of Hollywood actor where they're just naturally a little bit smaller. So when you see them bulk up for something like this and get a big
Stands out.
perm, it's
Yeah,
like,
this isn't like the. It's gonna be
goddamn.
interesting because I feel like we're gonna tell a lot of these stories now, probably of like the '80s and like we've heard that rumors of the Eddie story and stuff. Like, but like we like they're all gonna be a lot of them being bigger guys and stuff. Like,
God,
you know, there'll be
mean,
a day where we get something like the Hulk Hogan story, or
I know,
we'll get a
obviously,
Ric Flair
like,
story.
with the success of the Iron Claw, they're gonna make an Eddie movie. God, it's like the casting for that is gonna be so tough.
So what's interesting about this film too is it's on track to like I know it made money, but like if you look at box office numbers, it's really on track to basically break even. It's not only on track to make a ton of money, which is what I find interesting.
This
Like,
movie
it's gonna
do
be back end.
gangbusters on streaming.
That's what I mean. It's gonna be one of those like they've cleared the money on theaters and everything, and streaming will just be like that will be their profit. Is my
Yeah.
guess. Because they'll probably end up this weekend 22 in the box, and they're at 16 budget, and this probably didn't have a heavy marketing comparatively to other films.
Not really. Yeah.
So
And I
bet
mean,
you
it's
you'll
going straight
know.
on Max. Like, you know, Max and A24 cut that deal
Mhm.
where all A24 projects are going to be on Max, which I am so for. Like, A24 makes some good shit.
It's interesting to me because A24 obviously had Netflix and a few other streaming stuff they had deals with, and obviously those deals now just kind of changed.
Yeah. My one major gripe with Iron Claw, they couldn't choose something other than Arial for a font. Like, all the font work in this movie is Arial bold. It's like, you guys couldn't have done something.
Hey, it could be worse, and you know it.
Could be Papyrus.
I was like, it could be worse.
But, yeah, I mean, again, this is a movie I will recommend to everyone, and those that kind of push back, I'll say just give it a chance. It does a pretty good job. I think the fact that it follows Kevin more than just following the family,
I think helps to ground it.
it does, but also I think it plays up some of the villainy from Fritz, the dad. Like, Fritz was an asshole. You know, there's no other way to say it. Fritz was an asshole. So, showing that, like, I feel like if it just followed the kids and their relationships with each other rather than Kevin's relationship with everyone, it could have maybe portrayed that Fritz was even more of an asshole. But yeah, it's yeah.
I agree. Like at the end of the day, I think I like it is one of those. I think I'm a little more torn on you and who I recommend it for, but I do think it's one of those. I also think once it's on HBO Max, you don't have an excuse not to see it for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of I think where we're sticking on that one is, and I will be curious if this becomes more of a genre, and especially with A24 something like that backing them, it'll actually be like we'll actually put actual monies in these films versus.
I mean, they definitely, like, I don't know if you had the preview for it, I assume you did, of the like blood runs whatever, the like lesbian bodybuilding movie.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart. It's very clear that like A24 is on their meathead bullshit right now, which is fine.
But hear me out. There's a market for that stuff, especially in
Yeah.
today's age where it doesn't get
Oh, yeah.
made as much. There's totally a market. It's just how big is that market?
Yeah. And I think like it's a valid thing, right? Like what was the last meathead movie we had? Pain and Gain,
Yeah, probably.
you know. You can't really call like 13 Hours or Zero Dark 30 meathead movies
Right,
because
it's a little
it's
more
the
cool.
military, so it's a little weird, but
But
like
there are some
strictly
other market ones I think probably in that vein that I think we have seen that we
Yeah.
probably that are a little more meatheady because like those were examples of like had a note and a story with them where like other ones tend to be a little more
yeah.
pure as war.
Yeah, so I'll be looking forward to it. I really, really hope if they do an Eddie movie that they spend a lot of time casting and a lot of time with Chavo trading,
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one is to how do you actually make it feel right?
because Eddie was Eddie was a top 3 wrestler his entire career. Right?
Most being big, I'd say that's probably fair.
his best friend was also there in the top three
Yeah.
in Chris Benoit. And that's where making the Eddie movie is tough.
Mm-hmm.
How do you cover Chris Benoit?
How do you cover all of that? Like,
Yeah.
and the weird one with the Eddie movie is too, you do this extra weird one if now you have a bunch of wrestlers who are still around. How do you handle that?
Yeah.
And like, I understand that stuff like you could handle it, but there's always that weird line of like,
Yeah.
if they're still around, like, how do we do it versus like, oh, we're telling a story of the past versus like, it's still the past, but like, all these people are either still working in the business or retired or like.
Yeah, it does make it a little more difficult because, yeah, I mean, Eddie passed in 05? 04, 05?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, he faced off against Brock Lesnar and had a damn good match against Lesnar.
Right, but that's like, you have stuff like Lesnar, The Rock was still a full-time wrestler. You have this stuff where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's weird, like.
I mean, Eddie and The Rock didn't do a ton.
No, but I think it's hard.
But-
I think in the same way that obviously Fight Like fans who make fun of it had to lean on Rock existing, you kind of like. There's a really weird way to start getting these modern eras of like, just to sell a movie, do you have to just throw them in like stuff like that? It has to be around. Because we both know there's commercial realities of selling this stuff too. Of like, it's not
Yeah.
just the story you want to tell; it's how do you get this thing funded and get it done and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, whereas with Iron Claw, like the one big name that they really interacted with, Ric Flair, you can still lean on. Making that Eddie movie, he didn't really have many programs, if any, with The Rock. So if you suddenly have Eddie facing off against The Rock for like the IC title or something like that, and people are like, no, this never happened. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's the thing that I hate in movies that are biopics that add, you know, oh, this happened. No, it didn't. You know, they add stuff for the story or to sell. And you're just like, it doesn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you were making an Eddie Guerrero biopic, you know the Eddie Guerrero story. And you know he didn't interact with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
You could have Stone Cold, because he did some, you know, he had some matches with Stone Cold that were pretty good. But it's gonna be Eddie and Chris. It's gonna be, you know, the Latino World Order. It's gonna be Eddie winning the title in 03.
That sounds right.
And I really think you have to have Eddie Lesnar. Because
To me, that's one of those fun ones of like, you also don't need the full thing. You just need to show it happen too.
yeah, you just need the spot fest from that. Like, you can cut it like they did for Iron Claw.
But you told them to be like the intro, give it to us, realize what it is, maybe show like an initial move, and then you cut to like what happened or the outcome or whatever.
Yeah. But you need some dude. You need Parker Boudreaux to come down the ramp to Lesnar's music and have whoever's going to play Eddie looking at him.
Or, because we're talking about films in that era, I think you're at the spots where it's like, you could cut to the real footage of parts too. At least
Yeah.
for like either the walk up or video packages. Like there's some level of like you could use the real stuff.
Yeah, I think the problem would be you run the risk of you need your Eddie to look really good if you're going to do that. Because if you're going to cut back and forth, people are going to notice.
You need to do it like once. Like you need to like
Yeah.
take your moment and do it if you're gonna do the cut. That would do it for us with Iron Claw. I'd say I think we both agree, especially now. Worst case, wait a month, go check it out on Max.
Yeah.
I bet you at March it's on there. April, maybe.
Yeah, I forget exactly what the
I know the rules in movie
Lead
theaters
times.
was there was like so many weeks was like the minimum. So
yeah.
I don't remember what that number was, but there was like a rule they have with the theaters now that they're promising so many weeks in theaters.
Yeah. So
Because that was the whole people were very pissed at Warner thing. So
hey. Everyone's pissed at Warner. What else is new?
soon to be Warner plus Paramount, let's be honest, plus Disney or whatever the fuck.
Warner, Discovery, Paramount. I mean, they gotta just make it one name, right? Like,
It has to be Warner, right? Like no one cares about make Discovery and Paramount sub brands if you need to keep it. And let's be honest, get rid of Discovery.
yeah, I mean,
Keep Paramount as a brand, I get it. Get
the
rid of
Warner
Discovery.
name carries so much weight.
And I think Paramount has some weight too. Like that's why I'd keep Paramount. I don't think Discovery has weight.
No. From the TV aspect, yes, but in terms of cachet, the Paramount brand is huge.
Mm-hmm.
The Warner brand is huge. So, yeah.
Hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see soon enough.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye. The SW Show and all of its affiliate podcasts are podcast by me, Mike Maroney, and AJ Losi, sometimes by contributors, including Corey King. You can follow the SWW Show on social media at the SWW Show, or sooner or later you go to patreon.com/SWW to help us out. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.